Hello and welcome to another episode of Outro, the show about shows, the show dealing with shows, the show of shows right here on the writer Albert Lanier channel. I, of course, am the writer Albert Lanier here with again another edition of Outro, show that deals with the interviews and the views of interviews I do on other shows and various shows. As you may be aware, I am currently on an awards season media tour. For those who don't know what a media tour is what I call basically it's like a press tour, except I don't do press or haven't done press for whatever reason. It's basically a tour where I do a number of radio shows, talk shows, podcasts, programs over a period of time, over a specific window of time. So in the past, media tours have been 3 weeks or even a month and a half. This one started Monday, February 2nd. It's going to end on Sunday, March 15th with the Oscars. So very specific. Normally with media tours, it's as long as the bookings are. So, and like I said, the first one, if you want to check out my first stop on the tour, that was the Mind Marie podcast. Very good interview. Talked about horror movies mostly, but the Oscars also. Um, and you can check that out. First of all, you can check that out by going to the Mind Marie podcast, which is on Substack. I believe it's also available on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. But also, you can also check it out. You can also check out my interview. I'm sorry, my episode of Outro. Anyway, we got to get on with this episode, or should I say, I have to get on with this episode, where I went to Parallax Views. Now, that's a show I've been to a number of times. So that was the second stop on the tour. And another very good interview and great discussion about not only the Oscars themselves, but award shows in general, and talking about movies, the movies of the year, and the better movies of the year. So it's always good to be on Parallax Views. If you haven't already, check that out. You can go to Parallax Views site and check that out. Check out their podcast. I think it's available on Spreaker and some of the other podcast platforms that podcasts are on. I think it's also available on YouTube. And if you want to check it out, you can also go to my community page section of this channel and go and look for it. And I guess click onto it. I think you'll be able to get there. In any event, talking about the Oscars, talking about, more importantly, talking about awards themselves, generally awards. Excuse me. So one of the things that I noted when I was on Parallax Views that I thought was interesting was one of the things I'm saying when it comes to this tour and talking about, because it's award season, is to talk about the distinction between the different awards, Golden Globes and Oscars. Oscars and Golden Globes are the predominant awards when it comes to movie awards during the early part of the year, which is award season. And the big differences that I laid out is this. The Golden Globes, and I don't know if I want to go into the so-called scandals of the Golden Globes here. Maybe, maybe not. The thing about the Golden Globes that I've argued or that I brought out is the Golden Globes are all about celebrity and personality. Even though it's voted on by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the Golden Globes really celebrates Hollywood, meaning American film industry, and the majors, meaning the major studios and I guess some of the other major film releasing companies. It doesn't really celebrate. It doesn't really celebrate film itself. Well, the Golden Globes do both film and television, so it's kind of dual there. They're not exclusively about film, but they're mostly about celebrities. And also, the thing that makes the Golden Globes very different is they're all about that they seem to thrive on not quite disorder, but the unknown. Something out of left field, something out of the blue, some kind of surprise, the unexpected. Now, when you compare that to the Oscars are almost exclusively about film. In fact, are exclusively about movies because the Oscars deal with the Academy, are put on by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which is a nonprofit institution that it's all about the preservation and information and education in regards to movies, right? The Oscars are the main facet of the Academy that people know. The Academy themselves have a theater in LA, the Academy Theater, where they have screenings year round. They have the Margaret Herrick Library, where they have different kinds of film props and items and artifacts. They also have the Student Academy Awards. So there's a big difference. The Oscars are about movies in a way that the Golden Globes are not. Also, very important to note is the Oscars are not about celebrity. And this may be something that people may disagree with me on. The Oscars are not about celebrity. The Oscars have celebrity, and the Academy Awards are just fine when celebrities show up, with celebrities attending. But the celebrities are in service to movies. They're in service to the awards, not the other way around. And when it comes to the unexpected, that's not the purview of the Oscars. They are not into the surprise, the off kilter, the offbeat, totally out of the blue. That's not their thing. In fact, they're so organized and structured and so intent on producing an excellent show year in and year out that everything is about preparation and preparing for things that can go wrong, not about dealing with things that go wrong and treating it as if it's normal. That's not really the purview of the Oscars. I mean, if you want to take a look at how that works, go take a look at the La La Land / Moonlight debacle that happened, where they read the name of the wrong Best Picture winner. That's strange. So those are the differences between it. Like, the Golden Globes, if they had something like that, they would have just gone with it. It would have enhanced, maybe, strange as it is. And I don't think that the Oscars would ever have somebody like Ricky Gervais as the host. Never. I'm not saying they have anything against Ricky Gervais. I don't think they would have him hosting the Oscars. They just wouldn't. This year, of course, it's Conan O'Brien, which makes sense. So that was some of what I noted in my conversation on Parallax Views. Of course, if you want to catch Parallax Views and want to catch me on Parallax Views, or you want to catch my other Oscars and awards season tour interviews, check out Parallax Views by going on my community standards page, and you can click there and you can go, I think, there, or you can go and look for Parallax Views online. Go look them up, and check them out wherever they are on their page, or on whatever platform they are, podcast platform they are. You can also check my other one that I did before that, the day before, which is the Mind of Simon podcast. You can go to Substack and you can check out that podcast, or I believe you can check it out on YouTube as well. And that's it for this edition of Outro, the show about shows, showing you what there is to show about being on shows.